Hello, and welcome to Marketplace with Charles, brought to you by Art of Skincare. Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we aim to empower, encourage, and equip you, the viewer, with the right tools that you need to move you closer to achieving your entrepreneurial dreams. Each week, we bring you insights from experts in different fields of business, from men and women of faith, but also from ordinary people from all walks of life. We are taking a step further from where we left last week. I am still having my precious guest, Dorriane Sithole. My guest has spent years dedicated to this rare business concept that a business which is called the House of Avila represents. She is a former model, a TV producer, and a presenter of her own show called Dress Me Too. She is a speaker, a pastor, and a businesswoman. Help me welcome Dorriane Sithole today on Marketplace with Charles. Welcome, Dorriane.
Thank you so much, Charles. It's feeling like home here. Thank you.
No, it's great to have you.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the viewers for watching.
You know, last week, we touched a little bit about your image.
Right.
But we also touched on the rape issues.
Mm-hmm.
And we also emphasized that men out there, they need to have self-control, irrespective of how ladies out there have dressed.
Absolutely. There is no excuse.
Can you touch a little bit on that, just to emphasize that, you know, we need to dress right, but it doesn't matter how we dress. We as men need to have self-control.
Absolutely. Self-control is one of the gifts, Charles, of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
It's one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit, actually, self-control. So we can never, ever hide behind the fact that a girl is wearing the shortest skirt or their cleavage was out. Even if a man is put in a room with a naked girl, you must be able to exercise self-control. So when we talk about image and how you should dress as a woman, we are not necessarily saying because you don't want anyone to rape you.
Yes.
That's not what we're saying. We're just talking about self-respect and dressed, you know, dress the way you want to be addressed, because there is a very thin line between sexy and trashy. So as a woman, you also need to, if you respect yourself, you will know how far. So some girls will come to me and say, "Oh, Pastor D, is my skirt too short? Is my what?" The moment you are asking somebody else for their view, there is something inside of you
with it.
that's not settled about the way you look. So I always say, what is the Holy Spirit saying to you, especially amongst us as children of God? You've got to have a witness within you. No one can say to you, let's measure your skirt. Yeah, this inch is fine, this inch is not fine. So.
And there's no scripture in the Bible about on inches or the length of your skirt.
Well, the word just says dress modestly.
Your approach to dressing is centered around Christian principles.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is that as Christians, I mean, there are two extremes. You find that there are Christians who will cover up everything in the name of, I am a Christian. I'm not for that. I mean, people are free out there to do what they feel comfortable and dress however they want to. But from my perspective as an image consultant, as a fashion designer, I don't really buy into that notion that says if you're a Christian, we must see you by how long your dress is. It should be the longest dress. I believe that boring, lazy, like just is just as bad as one who's maybe almost naked. So for me, the Christian principle that I go by is dress modestly, but you need to understand what the word modest means. So for me, modest does not necessarily mean dressing like a an old person or covering up and wearing the longest dress. Modest for me means dressing appropriately for the occasion. So sometimes you go to the beach at Durban and you find ladies dressed in jeans amongst others who are wearing swimming costumes. So for me, that's not being modest.
No, definitely. I mean, a bikini is okay for the beach, but it's not okay for the streets of Johannesburg.
You can't come into church or into some meeting wearing your bikini. Everybody knows that. So you're not dressed appropriately for that occasion. So that's what modest means. But there are certain occasions, Charles, bring it home. I mean, a wife, married wife, a pastor, like myself. If I'm going to church, I'm going to minister to the youth, I'm going to talk, there's a way that I dress. But if my husband is taking me out on a dinner date, I'm supposed to dress in such a manner that impresses him as my husband. But I will still know how far I go. If my dress is short, even if I'm a wife and I'm trying to impress my husband, still there must be that thing that I'm a child of God. Am I glorifying God in the way I look? But I definitely must, show a little bit of some assets and accentuate where I believe I was gifted, and cover up where I believe I want to cover up, and be confident and go out for my dinner.
I love it. If you talk like that, you bring something in my mind that I do a lot in my life. One time you'll find me at the taxi rank as a taxi driver.
Right.
And I'll be shouting, one more. And I can't go there on my suit.
No, you can't.
One time I'm a qualified electrician. You'll find me in overalls.
Right.
The other time you find me in a restaurant and I'll be flipping the burgers.
Yeah.
Next time you'll find me underground doing mining. I can't be in my suit. The next stage of my life, you'll find me preaching, or being a TV presenter like now. I can't be bringing my tongs here.
Exactly. So that's the thing. That's the wisdom that we have to go by. Always know what is suitable. So it goes to the nitty-gritties even, Charles, where you've got to consider what accessory do I have on? Should I be, distracting people with my accessories? Is it okay? Am I going for a party? Then it's fine. But am I going for a meeting? Am I meeting a potential investor? Then it's not fine. You've got to be subtle in your approach. So yes, I agree with you.
Talking about the potential investor, I understand you're addressing millions of people through this medium.
Yeah.
Do you mind to share us who are your potential clients?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I take the risk of sounding a little bit ambiguous when I say, anyone and everyone that believes that they have a vision, they want to look a certain way. For instance, a student that's out of varsity, they definitely want to know if I'm going for an interview or I'm meeting some potential business partner, how should I dress and how should I present? Because House of Havila, like I said last week, that we don't just focus on how you dress, but also we equip you with, eloquence and, articulation and, presenting skills and the like. So definitely that group, students and the person who is in a corporate can actually call us to come and speak to their employees about representing the company well, Charles, there's so much competition out there. As a company, you can't afford to just wing it along the way. You've got to be deliberate and precise in your approach, so equipping your employees, and helping them know how to dress to represent the company. Not even themselves, the company, so those are our clients, individuals who are saying, I don't like the way I look, I feel like I'm attracting the wrong attention, so we help them, who are you, what do you want, where are you going, and entrepreneurs, people who are starting up in business, they want to know, how do I dress in order to command respect and to be trusted out there and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll go back to that. It's basically everyone, except for babies and kids. I mean, you can dress anyhow.
For the first time that I saw you, I think we were at Grace Mission Church in Centurion.
Yes.
Yeah. And I saw you dressing
a lady.
The ladies, different sizes.
Yes.
The thin ones And what do you call the other ones?
Well, there's different body shapes. So
Yes.
we've got the, the hourglass shape, which is what every woman dreams to be,
Yeah.
but we can't all be. And then there's the rectangle, there's the inverted triangle, there's the apple, there's the pear. So you've got to know, you can't just see an outfit, worn by Kim Kardashian and you go out and buy that dress. What if you're not the same body shape as, Kim Kardashian? What if your personality is not like Kim Kardashian? So, yeah, those are the different.
And what criteria do you use when you dress them for success?
Well, first of all, we have to define what it means to dress for success. So dressing for success is dressing so that whomever you are addressing listens to what you're saying. So dressing for success is talking about dress appropriately for the occasion, because how you are dressed, that's what gives people a certain perception. People have already made up their minds about how successful you are, how trustworthy you are, and the like. So dressing for success means you should know how the perception that you want people building about you. So now that's what we help you, with.
So everyone can dress for success.
Yes.
Irrespective of a body shape, your body size.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And sometimes the people that we say, whether men or women, that do not look beautiful or handsome in our eyes, sometimes it can be because they haven't dressed appropriately.
That's it.
My pastor, he's always on a skinny jean.
Okay.
And he looks awesome.
Good.
But I can't even imagine him in TD Jakes suits.
Right. That's
But
not
at the same time, take TD Jakes and put him in a skinny jean. I don't think that will look great either.
It won't. If TD Jakes had started by wearing skinny jeans, we would have bought into it easily and we would be accepting it. But because he knows what he wants, and he knows how he wants to be addressed.
And the image you want to project.
And the image that he wants to project. So hence now we have a picture of who TD Jakes is.
Okay.
That's why we cannot imagine him in skinny jeans. And vice versa is true about your pastor as well. Picturing him in TD Jakes suits and all the color and stuff is difficult because he has, given us this image, and that's what we've accepted as what is suitable for him. That's why we've got to be very careful how we dress, especially for new, business startups and entrepreneurs, those who want to come into the field of business. Don't just dress anyhow. How do you want to be perceived? That's key. Where are you going? And don't dress for now. And, as Christians, we've got to have faith that we are going far. That because when God put us here on earth, He wanted us to dominate, to subdue. He wants us to take over. So already our foundation about anything we have to do, Charles, has to do with that. We've got to know where we are going and begin to present yourself in that manner already. We tend to wait for that big break first. And then only when I get this, only when I get that, that's when I will start dressing a certain way. But that's too late.
It's too late.
Because you attract who you are. So however you dress and however you present yourself, you attract certain people. So dress for where you're going so that you attract the right people who will take you there.
I like that. You are a businesswoman.
Right.
You are a pastor. You have got your own TV show.
Yes.
You are married with 3 kids.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Sounds like a lot.
Some other women are just like ordinary housewives. Tell me, how do you strike the balance? And can you say something to help the women out there that they can also stand up from being an ordinary housewife and do as much as you're doing, but still have time for their family?
Oh, well, first of all, Charles, I won't really agree that housewives go with ordinary, because a housewife can be a calling upon someone that their mandate is to really just be there for their family and be a housewife.
Just like my wife, who has been a professional housewife for too long.
That's it. And so we don't say they're ordinary, because that may be exactly what God put them here for.
Yeah.
And they're doing well in that. And perhaps we can go to them and glean on, some wisdom from them. But if you feel that there is something more that God has placed into you, you can do it. I mean, I think first of all, you need to just trust God. And when God gives you something, He gives you the ability and the capacity to be able to handle everything that comes with it.
That's good.
Yeah. So basically, my philosophy is I should know what is first amongst all these things that I do. So first is my relationship with God. I always have to keep that in check, make sure that I'm spiritually sound, because like we say last week, that you are a triune being, and therefore everything should come from the spirit and then extends and spreads out everywhere else. So if my spirit is aligned to God and I'm well connected, everything else just flows. And I mean, when you mention you're a wife, you're a mom, you're a pastor, everything really, Charles, works hand in hand for me. So the most important thing is when I juggle my bowls, I just know which bowls are made of glass. I can't afford to let those ones fall, and which ones are rubber, so I can let it fall for a while and pick it up. So that's what really then becomes key, because there will be times when you cannot do everything at the same time. So I will know which one, what can I put aside. So my spirituality will never be compromised. My duty as a wife, I should always keep that in check. For my children, I must make sure I'm there for them always, and then everything else has to fit into that.
Dr. Elijah Maswanganyi once said, it is not what you do that matters, it's how you do it.
Absolutely.
It is not what you say that matters, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
It is not the quantity of a relationship, but the quality thereof.
Absolutely.
He even went further to say he knows a lot of people, married couples, staying with their spouses 24/7, yet there are babies in their marriage.
Thank you. Yeah.
And he knows others who are always out of the country. But whenever they meet, whenever they come together, whenever the husband or the wife comes back home, there's so much to talk about in such a way that they don't even have enough time to fight.
Absolutely. No, it's very true. I mean, the myth out there is the more, you have, the better. So you can have a lot of time with your husband, but not really have quality time with your children as well. And it's the same thing applies even in image and dressing. You can have a closet full of clothes, but you only wear 20%, and that's what's been proven, Charles. I mean, you can have, most people wear only 20% of the clothes that they have. So yeah, I agree with you. It's about what you do, the quality time, and knowing exactly what you want. We need to be snipers in life.
Let's talk about the styling services.
Right.
Is there anything that you can say about that?
Well, yeah, it's really a value add to our company, so we don't only design. So there are some clients who perhaps prefer buying, or even they have designer clothes, but perhaps they don't have an idea how to style themselves. They don't have an idea what to wear and stuff like that. And some have special events coming up, and so we come in there and we help them dress up for those events. And some want us to make lookbooks for them. So we go into their closets, we put together different outfits that work together, take snaps of that, and then they know, okay, I'll wear this with that, and I'll wear this. So we put it all together for them, so to simplify them. It's more like they outsource,
I also understand that you have got a personal shopping services. Do you take your clients for shopping?
Yeah, sometimes we actually go ourselves, so I know exactly what size my client is. I know exactly what colors are suitable for them, because we would have gone through all that as when we meet our client for the first time, we go through all that. We know the size, the colors, the personality, the types of stuff that they like. Because remember, Charles, we are not trying to change who you are. We are trying to actually just become the best of who you are. So after learning about you, then I'm well able to then go out there and do shopping for you. They can either be present or sometimes they are not even present, especially with men clients. They're not even there. We're buying stuff for them. But things like suits, tailor-made stuff, they've got to be there and be measured and all types of things. So yeah.
Yeah, doing a lot. And all
and enjoying it.
That's a key. That's a key. I think you have found yourself. You have found who you really are. The key is enjoying it. It can be a lot of work for someone else if they don't enjoy it. But if you enjoy it, that's the best thing ever.
Yeah, God put us all here for a purpose. So you've got to know your purpose. And once you are in line with your purpose, Charles, there's no limit. Even the sky is not the limit. Yeah.
Presentation skills.
Right.
How do you do it, and how do you teach people that? And how do you train them?
Yeah, well, we set up appointments, with our clients, and they come through and they tell us their life story and what they want to achieve and stuff like that. So after we've worked on their image, now we talk about their presentation skills, because sometimes you can look so good and everybody wants to hear what you have to say because you look amazing. And the moment you open your mouth, so they say that, people are judged about 55% is about how you look.
Yeah.
And yet that's the thing that people don't even focus on, And then about 38% is how you talk, not what you're saying, how you talk. So are you speaking confidently? Are you speaking eloquently? Are you speaking, clearly? And do you have that persuasive skill that draws people, to you? All that. And then about 7% is what you are actually saying. So it doesn't mean that what you're saying is not important, Charles, get me there. It means that once you've got your image right, once you know how to speak, now what you say, the 7%, people can hear you clearly and they are interested and they absolutely probably going to sign the deal.
And in fact, I know a lot of pastors who are well knowledgeable.
Right.
But whenever they open their mouth, you can't even hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
And another pastor takes the very same stuff, which another one has already said. They climb the stage, say exactly the same thing, but differently.
Right.
And everyone starts clapping their hands.
Exactly, Charles. So in the churches, so I believe that, yes, and I believe that different pastors are anointed, all pastors are anointed, but the mistake that we make as pastors sometimes is we forget that there's the natural side that needs to be taken care of. So if I'm a pastor and I'm anointed in a certain area and I have to put the message out there, I still have to get training, for instance, eloquence and presentation skills. I need to be trained at a natural level to know how to breathe so that I can speak clearly, so that I can project well, so that the nerves don't take advantage of me. Because believe me, even Naomi Campbell, she say that when she walks down the ramp, all the time she gets butterflies in her stomach because that's how nervous she gets. So it doesn't matter who you are, how many times you've been on stage. We are all prone to being nervous. So, but if you know how to breathe, how to handle it, then you can project well and speak well, and then you won't have that problem that you're talking about.
For strange reasons, nurses, they go for training.
Yeah.
Teachers, they go for training. Doctors, they go for training. Even taxi drivers, they're trained.
Training.
You don't just wake up and get a driver's license.
No.
But as pastors, we are reluctant. We don't want to be trained. We don't want to listen to somebody else. I think it's important to listen to each other. Absolutely. And be trained. Maybe it's also important to watch your show.
Yes.
Because you have got a show every week, I understand?
Yes.
Maybe if we can watch a show as pastors and as ordinary people, we can also be helped. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your show?
Well, yes. I mean, the show is called Dress Me Too, like you said earlier. So what this show is about, Charles, is about the fact that you know, when I've spent a lot of time, you know, interacting with different people from all, you know, types of backgrounds. But the one thing that I found is that many of them don't know how to dress right and what's appropriate and what's, and I'm not talking about extremes here, I'm talking about the little things that make a big difference. So then, when I say to God, well, how do we handle this? Because we can't do it with Charles and then do it with this one and do it with that one. So besides the speaking engagements and all that, then God said, you know, produce a TV program that addresses the issues of dressing. You know, so basically what happens on that show is we have different individuals who need help in certain areas. For instance, they're going for an interview, or they going for a business meeting, or they want to know how to dress sexy but not necessarily trashy and stuff like that. So I know it's not just that one person that we are dressing on that day. There are a lot of other people, like you're saying, who are watching the show, who are going to benefit from it. So we go through the process of shopping and the process of saying this is right, this is not right, and the reasons why. So this was brought because of that. And so, yeah, there's a show that everyone can watch. I mean, it's on Soweto TV, showing every Thursday. It's channel 251 DSTV. It's on every Thursday, and there repeats on Mondays and Fridays. So there is no excuse. I mean, on Saturday as well.
And if people wants to get hold of you directly, how do they do that? Do you have any Facebook website?
Right, yeah, so Dress Me Too is a product of House of Havila. So House of Havila, the company, is the one that produces the show Dress Me Too. So you can still go to our website, www.houseofhavila.co.za. You can catch us on our Instagram page, Havila Designs, or Facebook page, Dress Me Too. So we've got a Facebook page, Charles, and it's Dress Me Too. And they can send us messages if they really feel they want to be on the show as well. They are welcome to send their requests, and, you know, they can be on our TV show.
Dorriane, it has been a pleasure having you on Marketplace with Charles.
Oh, it was a pleasure
and,
being here.
I believe our viewers out there have been inspired, and their lives will never be the same again. I hope one day you will dress me too.
Definitely, why not, Charles?
Okay, viewers out there, on that note, that's all the time we had for today. And if you want to get hold of me, it's www.charlesngobeni.com, or on Instagram, Charles_Ngobeni, or on Facebook as Charles Ngobeni. Have a great day and be blessed.